It happened on my birthday. The table was set for 12. Silver gleamed under the dim chandelier. The roast smelled like rosemary and betrayal, and every face around me smiled just a little too tightly. My wife's mother leaned toward her, her voice low but sharp enough to cut through the hum of conversation. "While everyone's here," she whispered, "go and change the locks to his apartment." I didn't flinch. I didn't even breathe differently. But I heard every syllable. My wife nodded, as if she had just been handed instructions for war. She left the table under the excuse of getting more wine. She was gone for an hour. When she returned, she looked pale, too pale, like she'd seen a ghost. Or maybe she'd finally met the version of me she had been underestimating for years. She sat down quietly. No toast, no explanation. Her mother's eyes flicked toward her, a question. Her response, a small, broken whisper. "Mom, there." She didn't finish the sentence. I smiled and cut my steak. It began months before the dinner, a pattern I couldn't ignore. Late-night texts, muted phone calls in the hallway, the way she started locking her phone when she used to leave it face up. I'd learned early in marriage that silence tells louder truths than words. So I listened. At first, I thought it was another man. It wasn't. It was worse. It was her mother. The woman who'd never liked that her daughter had married down, who measured worth by property and value by inheritance. I wasn't poor. I was patient. That's what she never understood. Their plan unfolded through whispers I pretended not to hear. "He's too trusting. He won't notice until it's too late. Once the papers are signed, everything's ours." They thought they were clever. They thought I was blind. But I was documenting everything, quietly, methodically. Emails, bank transfers, recordings. The betrayal wasn't about love. It was about greed. And greed is predictable. The first move was subtle, a small withdrawal from our joint account, then another, then larger ones masked as expenses. I traced every transaction, not to confront, to understand the structure of her deceit. Each night while she slept, I sat in the dark beside her, scrolling through encrypted messages she thought were safe. She was using a secondary phone, hidden in her vanity drawer behind old makeup. I found it during one of her spa weekends. They had already met with a lawyer. She was preparing to move out, transfer the apartment deed, and file for a separation, citing emotional neglect. I almost admired her precision. Almost. But the flaw in her plan was always emotional. She underestimated what quiet men can do when they stop pretending to be in love. So I started preparing. My own lawyer, my own accounts, my own villa in Switzerland. She didn't know about that one. It was a backup I'd built years ago, long before the cracks appeared. Funds hidden under a business name she couldn't trace. While she schemed to take everything from me, I'd already transferred everything away from her. I let her continue, smiling through dinners, playing the obedient fool. Each lie she told became another thread I could pull when it was time. Her downfall began with a phone call, a casual one. Our daughter-in-law, entitled, loud, cut from the same cloth, called me one afternoon. "If you want to join Thanksgiving," she said, "come wash the dishes." I replied with a single word, "Enjoy." She hung up. The next day, I posted a few photos online. My villa in Switzerland, the mountain view, the marble floors, the brand new car parked outside. My phone rang 71 times that night, all from one number, my wife's. I didn't answer. When she finally reached me through email, her tone had changed. Sweet, apologetic, desperate. I invited her to dinner, my birthday dinner, the one she thought would be her victory lap. Instead, it became the night she watched her own empire crumble. Because while she'd been changing the locks to my apartment, I'd already signed the deed to hers. She sat there, trembling, her mother staring at me like I was something unholy. I poured myself wine, slowly. "Did you change the locks?" I asked. Her lips parted. Good, I interrupted. "You should feel safe." Confusion flickered in her eyes, then dread. I placed a small envelope on the table between us. Inside, copies of bank transfers, text logs, and a notarized property reassignment. Her hands shook as she read. Her mother leaned over, paling by the second. "You thought I wouldn't notice," I said softly. "I noticed everything." Her breath quickened. "You can't." "I already did." She looked like she wanted to scream, but she didn't. She knew it was over. Every account frozen, every signature traced back to her, every lie documented. All I did was lift my glass and toast. "To transparency," I said. She left before dessert. Her mother followed, face tight with rage. That night I didn't feel anger, only stillness, the kind that follows a storm. I stood by the window, watching their car disappear down the street. The echo of betrayal no longer burned. It simply existed, like background noise you stop noticing once you've accepted it. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's quiet, methodical, peaceful even. Weeks later, a letter arrived from her lawyer. I didn't open it. It went straight to the shredder. I booked a flight to Switzerland. As the plane lifted off, I realized something. Betrayal doesn't destroy you. It clarifies you. It burns away what's weak, what's naive, what believes love can't rot. By the time the mountains appeared through the window, I felt lighter, almost free. I sent her one last message. No anger, no gloating, just truth.